All right, welcome back to Getting Sober, again. My name is Jay, and today we are preparing for New Year's resolutions. But first, if you care about your own sobriety journey as much as we do, we have hundreds of videos on the topics of sobriety and self-improvement. So make sure that you're subscribed to this channel. All right, let's get started. So we just had Thanksgiving a couple of weeks ago, and I want everybody first to comment down below, how'd you do? Did you make it through Thanksgiving sober? Did you have some obstacles, some maybe unexpected obstacles that maybe you can apply those lessons to the upcoming Christmas and winter holiday season? What maybe caught you off guard? What didn't you think about when it came to Thanksgiving? Did you have any peer pressure from your friends, or maybe did you have peer pressure from your family? And how do you think that you're going to be able to succeed with the upcoming winter holidays, with Christmas and so on? How are you going to apply that to staying sober and being sober going into the new year? So today's topic is preparing for New Year's resolutions. And I think that I'll be the first one to admit, in 2024, I didn't do the best job of sticking to all of my resolutions because first and foremost, it's practice, right? Just like it takes time to end bad habits, it also takes time to start new habits, no matter how well-intentioned or no matter how healthy those habits may be. I think in 2024, I wanted to read every night before bed. Maybe that's something that you relate to. Maybe you already do that. So if you already do that, you're already a step ahead of me, right? But I think in 2024, if I were honest about how much I actually read before bed, which I intended to, I'd say I probably read before bed 40 to 50 times out of 365 days. And I know we still have a couple more weeks left. So I have a little bit of room for redemption when it comes to reading before bed. But I also did some things differently. Like I mentioned before, I downloaded the Blinkist app. I've actually been a paid member of the Blinkist app for I think like 3 or 4 years now. And the Blinkist app is really cool. So like, let's say I'll be talking about this book anyway later, Atomic Habits by James Clear. Fantastic book, whether or not you're trying to get sober. Maybe you just want to have better habits throughout the day. This book and I think 6,000 other titles are on the Blinkist app. And what it does is it takes this whole book, which is, I don't know how many pages, let me look, 298 pages to get to the index. It'll condense it into about a 15-minute audio book of the most important topics of that particular book and give you a good idea of what the book's about. And then from the app, if you want to, I think it'll send you out to Amazon if you want to purchase the book separately. But if you do want to buy that book, I always have a link in the video description for Atomic Habits by James Clear. So there's a lot of really good information in there that can apply to your sobriety journey, or maybe starting good healthy habits like going to the gym, maybe eating better, maybe meal prepping, maybe making your coffee the night before, whatever it might be. And there's a lot of philosophies that I believe that will be beneficial to you in the next couple of weeks while you're preparing for your New Year's resolution journey that you're going to be putting yourself through. And maybe your New Year's resolution journey is, I really want to actually be sober, because 2024, maybe you weren't sober the whole year, or maybe you started, say, sober October, and then you kind of fell off towards the end of October, and then November kind of got a little bit muddy, and then maybe you indulged and you had a couple of drinks with the family for Thanksgiving or whatever, and then here we are, and now you feel kind of nervous about, well, I'm going to see my family again for Christmas, and then New Year's Eve is around the corner, and all my friends are going to be celebrating, and whatever it is. So first and foremost, calm down, relax. I know what it feels like to have that kind of anxiety and overthink and overproject what's going to happen in the future. And whenever we think about things that are going to happen, or what we think is going to happen in the future, it's going to give all of us anxiety, right? And then when we think about things that happened in the past that we can't control, it makes us feel depressed because, well, that's just what happens and there's no way around it, right? But we can control what? We can control what happens today. We can control the decisions that we make. We can control how we speak to our loved ones, to our significant other, to our friends, our family, our coworkers, our boss, whoever it is, our neighbors. We can decide to have the Yuletide spirits flowing through our bodies, or we can decide to tell them to shut up and keep the noise down. It's up to you. Choose your own adventure, right? But I think that we all would like to be a little bit more kind, right? A little bit more compassionate, a little bit more considerate of others. And we would also like that to happen for us too. But I feel like the best rule of thumb for yourself and for myself and everybody else who may or may not be listening is to lead by example, right? We want to treat people how we want to be treated, and that doesn't always work, right? Sometimes you feel like, well, if I just give this person, I'm going to keep giving, then they're just going to keep taking, and they're going to take advantage of my good nature, and I don't want that to happen to me. So a good idea, maybe grab a pen and paper and write this down, is to watch our video that we put out about 20 personal boundaries that you can set starting today. And those personal boundaries could include your time, it can include your space, it can include your work environment or your home environments. Like, here's an example. Sam's downstairs cooking, and it's the middle of the afternoon, and I wasn't expecting Sam to be home early, and that usually kind of irritates me because I am kind of introverted. I like my space and I love my alone time, especially when I'm thinking about what it is that I want to talk about for an upcoming video or episode. It's kind of like an emotional cleansing, and I feel like I need to cleanse my space, I need to cleanse my mind, I need to cleanse my body. So my choices were to either A, talk about how disappointed I am, or B, just kind of roll with it and kind of go with the flow, right? And instead of, why make it awkward for another person when I'm the only one that's feeling that way? So instead of having a conversation that may set that person off and then ruin my mood, which just was a few minutes ago before I stepped in front of this camera, I thought, well, I'll just say, hey, welcome home, tell me about your day. And before you tell me about your day, time out. I do have some very important work to do for the channel today. So I do need about 3 hours so I can sit down in front of the camera and relay my thoughts and make this video to help motivate and inspire people to do their best and be their best, right? And I know that maybe, hopefully, you have that kind of relationship in your own household. Maybe it's just with roommates, or maybe with your parents if you still live at home, or maybe it is a significant other or your kids or whoever it is. But we do need to have those conversations to create that space that we need. We do need to have those conversations to create that time that we need. And we do need to have those conversations, especially for these upcoming holidays, to tell our friends and our family members that, like, hey, I will be joining you for Christmas or for New Year's, but I will not be drinking. And you start planting the seeds today instead of getting caught off guard and then showing up, say, on Christmas or Christmas Eve, and then just saying, oh, hey, I have an announcement, I'm not drinking. And then everybody's just kind of looking at you like, but you've come over here every Christmas and gotten blackout drunk. What's the difference now? Yeah, right, you're not gonna stop drinking. Here, let's actually, cheers, let's have a toast. And then they're throwing alcohol in your face, right? So what we wanna do now is prepare for those upcoming events. We wanna prepare for the Christmas holiday. We wanna prepare for New Year's Eve or whatever it is, and start practicing today. Start practicing having the conversations that you need to have so that it's less awkward later. Right? There's always going to be, whenever we introduce something new to our friends or to our family, to our coworkers, whoever's in your life, whenever we introduce an idea, it's brand new. It's just as new to them. It's even newer to them than it is to you, because you've been thinking about it all day long, all day yesterday, and all day maybe the week or the month before. But now you're presenting this brand new idea, and it's different than the status quo. It's different than how they're used to you acting and behaving and doing things. And also too, there's gonna be maybe a little bit of disappointment on their end, because maybe they were looking forward to having a drink or two or finishing an entire bottle with you. But that isn't your problem. When we set these personal boundaries, we always know going into setting these personal boundaries, it's gonna be a little bit awkward in the beginning. You might be met with some resistance. You might be met with a lot of resistance, but wouldn't you rather be met with a little bit of resistance via text message now, instead of being met with a lot of criticism and resistance when you show up for the holidays? Wouldn't you rather be temporarily inconvenienced now over a phone call, or maybe over a lunch or a dinner next week with somebody and say like, oh, hey, about that, I decided to do a month-long cleanse for the month of December. I'm preparing for New Year's resolution, and I just wanna kind of see how long I can go without drinking. And that also includes Christmas, that also includes New Year's Eve. And I think, I don't know, judging by the looks of me, maybe I can lose 5 or 10 pounds. I wanna nip it in the bud, and I wanna get an early head start on those New Year's resolutions. So here's another example with regards to New Year's resolutions. We put out a video last year, and we talked about how 91% of people fail their New Year's resolutions. And I know that come the beginning of the new year, would you rather have no pressure and go to the gym right now, sign up for your membership now, this week, yes, this week, and ask them, hey, I've never been here before. Can you please give me a tour of the facilities? And then they show you all the different machines they have. They show you where the free weights are, where the gym mats are, if they offer classes, if they have personal training or whatever it is, where they show you their locker rooms, if they got a steam room or sauna, how it works, where the towels are, whatever. Or would you rather do it on January 2nd, because the gym's probably gonna be closed on January 1st, and do it on January 2nd when everybody else waited to the last minute to start a new year and a new me? And then everybody's looking around. Nobody knows how to use the machines. Everybody's taking up space. Everybody's confused. They don't know how to adjust the pins and the weights or how the machines work. And it's interfering with your workout time. And it's maybe a little bit off-putting and puts a foul taste in your mouth for maybe even wanting to go back. We know that the beginning of the year is going to be the most awkward time of year to join a gym. Maybe though, you might say to yourself, well, what could I get myself this Christmas? Maybe I don't want to go to a gym. That is a good idea though, starting the gym membership early before the first of the year. Maybe I could do something like what I did is I don't like going to the gym anymore. I actually canceled all my gym memberships. I invested in Bowflex 552 adjustable dumbbells. So they're called 552 because they go from 5 pounds to 52.5 pounds. So you can adjust it, that entire weight, it goes from 5 pounds to 7.5 pounds, 10 pounds, 12.5 pounds, 15 pounds, and into increments all the way up to 52.5 pounds. And they actually have a really cool dumbbell bench it's a custom Bowflex bench that you can set the weights down into. So I think that set me back about like whatever, $300 or whatever, but the resale value on those are great. You might actually even be able to find one in your local Facebook marketplace or on Craigslist or whatever. But if you want to grab a brand new set, I don't blame you because they're a mechanical device. Maybe they break down over time, I don't know. Mine have been very durable. I will put a link to Amazon if you want to grab them. It'll be in the link description down below. Also too, speaking of stuff to buy, we talked about in the last video, this little breathalyzer that's been sitting here since the last time I made a video. It's called the BAC Track breathalyzer. So I know that, I'll show you, it warms up. So in case you're wondering what video I'm talking about, it's the video of me holding the Listerine bottle in one hand and the breathalyzer in the other hand. And we talked about alcohol myths, right? So if you haven't watched that video yet, I don't know what YouTube did, but it is one of my most underperforming videos of all time. And it's one of the videos that I spent about 6 weeks writing the script for that video, believe it or not, and took a bunch of time recording it and editing it and all that stuff. And I'm not saying that to be woe is me, but we talked about in that video, which most of you haven't watched, but we talked about the BAC track. And I know that I'm under no impression that everybody here watching these videos is sober yet. I know that not everybody who's watching these videos right now are gonna decide to take the plunge into the unfamiliar waters of sobriety. I know that some of you are gonna continue to drink. I know that some of you are gonna drink on Christmas. I know that some of you are gonna drink on New Year's Eve and throw yourself one last hurrah and have a dozen drinks and then start your New Year's resolution on January 1st with a hangover. I know because I'm a human being and I've done that too in the past. So my whole point about bringing up the BAC track keychain breathalyzer is that it's in the video description first and foremost if you want to get one, but maybe not for you, but maybe for somebody that you know that still drinks, get this for them, right? It's a very good investment, especially for those of you that are not going to stop drinking or that you know that I want to get home safely. Maybe can I drive? Which, if you're already asking yourself that question, can I drive? The answer is get an Uber, right? Get a Lyft, call a friend, ask somebody like, hey, ask the bartenders like, hey, can I leave my car here? Nobody's gonna cast any judgment on you, especially the bartender. They would love for you to ask them like, hey, can I leave my car here? But just ask them like, hey, is it safe? Can I leave my car in the parking lot? Do you have a camera out there in case anything happens to my car? And I'm sure they'll tell you like, yeah, please leave your car here. Don't drive home intoxicated. And one of the best tools for that is like, if you're asking yourself, can I drive home? Use your little pocket breathalyzer. It literally fits, look how, Look how small this thing is. This thing fits, it's that big. fits in any pocket. It'll fit it, and I'm sure it's cold outside. You're probably wearing a coat now. In one of your many coat pockets, you could throw it in there. You can keep your friends safe too. Tell them like, hey, before you're thinking about driving home, you wanna see what your BAC level is? Maybe you can make a little weird little game out of it and say like, hey, who can have the worst blood alcohol content? And you both can blow into it and compare and see. And then also maybe too, you could just say like, okay, well, I'll blow into this thing now, and if I'm over the limit, maybe I'll order myself a slice of pizza or a burger or whatever, and I'll sit and hang out at the bar and I'll watch the game. I won't drink anymore, and I'll drink responsibly, or more responsibly than I usually do. I'll have a glass or two of water, and I'll remember that, oh yeah, the liver will process 1 unit of alcohol per hour. So in about 1 hour from now, the game will be finished, and let me call my wife or husband or significant other or my roommates or whoever and let them know like, hey, I did drink a little bit too much. Don't yell at me, but I'm doing the responsible thing. And I'm gonna hang out for just a little bit. I'm not gonna drink anymore. I'm gonna have a burger, some nachos, or some fries, or do whatever, and make sure that I'm actually under the legal limit and I can get home responsibly, right? So we talked about that last week. If you do want to buy one of those as a stocking stuffer for somebody, maybe also too, your significant other still drinks. I know there's a lot of people here in this community where they got sober, but then their significant other is not sober. So maybe it's like, hey, honey, do me a favor. If you're gonna continue drinking, can you at least be a little bit more responsible? Can we start implementing a few more rules? Maybe a glass of water with every beer that you have. I know you're gonna have to use the bathroom, and it's gonna be a little bit of an inconvenience for you to have to step off your bar stool and go to the bathroom, but it's gonna be a really big inconvenience for me to have to prepare for your funeral. So I know things don't have to be that drastic and that dramatic, but it is a very rational conversation to have, and that is a good example of setting a personal boundary. Will that conversation be awkward at first? Yes. Will it be less awkward the second time? Yes. Will it be even more less awkward the third time you have that conversation? Yes. That's why we're talking about preparing for New Year's resolutions. So let's take a little quick break and pause the video, but ask you a question, then pause the video. But what would you like to be doing in the next couple of weeks when the new year hits? What would you be liking to do better? Would you like to be reading a book or reading, a couple of pages before bed every night? And is that something that you can practice now? Practice reading 2 pages a night and say like, okay, I don't really like reading. It's hard for me. It is actually hard for me to read. I have like ADHD, and reading a book, it's just hard. I read, and then I realized that I spaced out, and I was thinking about, a recipe for chicken marsala or something. I'm like, oh no, I have to read that all over again. So if you're like that, if you're like me, maybe it'd be a better option for you to get that Blinkist app that I was talking about. And I like to use the Blinkist app for like right before bed, so I can play this book, and I know it's gonna be 15 minutes, and then just listening to somebody talk about how to create better habits, chapter 1, whatever. It's like, I know that I'm probably gonna fall asleep 10 minutes into it. And sometimes they do that. I'll just play a book and I'll just like, whatever gets in my head, gets in my head. And if I fall asleep, then, oh well, that's what I was intending to do anyway, right? So what would you like to be doing better in the upcoming year? Would you like to be exercising more? Would you like to be drinking less caffeine? Would you like to be consuming less nicotine, whether you're vaping, whether you're smoking? Would you like to cut back on the amount of prescription pills that you're taking, or the amount of pills that you have to take that you're prescribed to by your doctor because maybe you're suffering from being a little bit overweight, or maybe your heart's not working as well as it should be? But I know that, and I know that you know that if you improved your weight, and if you increase the amount that you're able to exercise, and if you were eating better, and I'm asking you honestly, if you did those 3 things, lost weight, while also maybe exercising too, and eating a cleaner diet, do you think that your health would improve? Yes or no? And I think that most people would say yes. So it's like, we already know what we should be doing. We already know what we could be doing, but we also battle with, but I'm tired when I come home. I don't want to lift any weights. I had a stressful day. I just want to, can we just order pizza? I get it. I'm also a human being. I also have those thoughts all day, every day. Every single day when I come home, I never want to work out. But I'm gonna share a formula with you that's actually in this book. If you do get the book, I bookmarked it with my little kitty bookmarker. It's on page number, it's chapter 5. And it says, the best way to start a new habit. I don't know if you can see that. In the first sentence there, it says, in 2001, researchers in Great Britain began work with 248 people to build better exercise habits over the course of 2 weeks. And I'm not gonna read the whole thing, but the thing that's gonna help you out the most, the key point out of this chapter 5 is start applying this strategy with regard to your upcoming resolutions or whatever it is that you want to accomplish. And I got to memorize. It's not that difficult. I don't need to open the book back up. But the formula is, maybe you want to write this down. I'll also put it on the screen. I will blank exercise at time in place, at location. So it's behavior, time, location. So I will meal prep at noon on Sunday. So if you do what we all are victims of doing and say, well, I want to do a better job of meal prepping. I should be eating healthier. And if I were meal prepping, then I would eat healthier. Well, that's just a statement. That's not really a definitive plan of action, right? But if you say, I will meal prep at noon on Sunday, and then you do yourself even one better and you actually pick up your phone, these $1,000 gadgets, and you go to your calendar and you go to Sunday. I'm doing it with you so you can pick it up with me while I'm doing this. And I go to Sunday, this next Sunday, and then I will click on the noon slot, which I already have something. So I'll just pick 11 o'clock and I add a title, and I'm gonna voice record meal prep at noon every Sunday. And then I'm gonna hit where it says does not repeat. This is Google Calendar. I'm gonna hit that does not repeat button, and I'm gonna have it repeat every week. I don't know if you knew that you could do that in your phone. You can have it repeat every day, every week, every month, or every year. For those of you that forget anniversaries, or maybe I like to do that with like warranties. So how many of you have bought a warranty? You're like, gee golly, I forgot when this warranty is gonna expire. I'll tell myself, like, I'll set a reminder 3 years from now, a month before it expires, or something like that. Or like my Costco membership. I'll know a year from now, a week ahead of time, that my Costco membership is gonna be renewed, or whatever it is, or my Blinkist subscription, or my Patreon membership to Getting Sober, ... again. So anyway, so you could set your Sunday at noon every week, and it will remind you, color code it. Let's just say I'm gonna make it yellow, so I know that that's a personal one. And then there, it's in your phone. So just like little habits like that, when you say, I will, here's why I talked about working out when I get home. I never wanna work out when I get home. But I know my deal with myself is I will work out when I get home. So as soon as I step in the door after working, yeah, I'm tired. And yes, I don't want to work out, but I know that I'm going to have better mental health if I work out. Case in point, I worked out right before I made this video, or right before I sat down to record this video. That is my ritual. I exercise, I shower, I pray, I do my hair and put lotion on my face, and I put good intentions out there, and I ask for all the help that the universe will give me to say what I need to say, when I need to say it, and how I need to say it, so it'll help people for many days, weeks, months, years, and decades to come. And I say that verbatim before each and every one of these videos, because I know that these videos have the opportunity to help change or even save somebody's life. And that's something that I wasn't doing that when I first started this channel 5 years ago. Oh, by the way, we just had our 5-year anniversary for this channel. That is not my sobriety anniversary. That's the channel has been out. It started November 28th, 2018. Oh, is that 6 years now? What is the math on that? Is that 6 years? So it was November 28th, 2018 when I started the channel. So it's either 5 years or 6 years. Who knows? Time flies. But I wasn't saying those prayers when I first started the video. I wasn't setting those intentions. And we accumulate better decisions. We accumulate better habits. Like I accumulated, this light wasn't here when I first started the channel. And this light wasn't here. And that hair light that's screwed into the ceiling wasn't here. This backdrop, I wasn't even here. I'm in a different location. I was in Cleveland, Ohio, and now I'm somewhere else, right? This is a different microphone. This is a different camera. That's a different lens. There's a teleprompter here now. So we're constantly improving. And if I look back at it, like it took me a lot of time and a lot of weeks and a lot of months and a lot of years to get to where I am now. So don't beat yourself up the first week of January, and don't set yourself up for disaster by saying, okay, I'm gonna do all these things. Get ready, 2025 me. You're gonna be reading a book a month, and you're gonna be exercising 5 days a week, and you're gonna be meal prepping on noon on Sunday, and you're gonna be doing this and that and crocheting and learning how to play chess and learning how to play piano and doing all this stuff, and you're gonna be burnt out before you even get to that day. You're gonna wanna wake up hungover just so you can have an excuse so you don't have to do all these things that you've tasked your future self to do, because it's really easy to task yourself to do stuff, right? But when it comes down to actually doing it, how do you feel? Like, oh no, I have anxiety that I have to go to work today, and today's the first day I have to go exercise, and I'm gonna be tired, and then exercise is gonna be making me tired, and all I did was bring leftovers from dinner last night, so it's a little bit of meatloaf and like a little bit of a roll with some butter, and I don't know if I'm gonna have enough energy to go exercise, and you're gonna be constantly looking for problems to interfere and give you an excuse to not accomplish things instead of looking for solutions as to what's gonna help you to succeed. So that might be something that you also need to nip in the bud for this upcoming year, is to stop creating excuses and start making solutions to all these problems that you've created, unfortunately for yourself. And also too, taking accountability and ownership and say like, okay, I know that I did this. I know I drank too much. I know that I ate too much junk food. I know I spent too much time at the bar instead of with my family. I know that I could have been a better father, or I could have been a better mother, and I can't change what happened in the past, but I can change how I respond today. I can change how I act today. I can change what I say today. I can change how I look at what's happening and sit back and maybe not make hasty purchase decisions and maybe sleep on it for 24 hours, which is also another example in the Atomic Habits book, is to sit on big purchases over $100, to think about it, maybe add it to your cart, and then sleep on it, and then wait at least 24 hours. I like to actually add, here's another pro tip, I like to add expensive stuff to my cart on Amazon, for example, and then sit on it for at least a week, because I probably shouldn't be telling anybody this, but you can actually watch the price fluctuate. And I think, I have a sneaking suspicion, let me know if anybody else observed this, I think in Amazon, that they know, hey, so-and-so, let's say Jay was interested in buying this new laptop, and he added it to his cart. That was 6 days ago. Maybe we can sweeten the deal. Put a $200 off coupon on that laptop and see if he nibbles on that, right? And so I've noticed that many times where I've added something to my cart and then I watch the price comes down. So I think I kind of feel like it's the highest price is the one that you see immediately, whether or not it says that it's a Cyber Monday deal or a Black Friday deal, or it's a last minute hurry up and buy deal, Christmas deal, whatever it is. They will do this, and I don't have any proof other than my own observation, but I feel like that they will do that. So that could be a better habit for you. Maybe it's spending less money online. Maybe it is getting sober. Maybe it is the junk food. Maybe it is exercising more. Maybe it's just reaching out to more friends and family, actually calling them on the phone or texting them and catching up with them. Maybe doing a better job of saying, happy birthday, just taking a little bit of time out of your day, because you remember you just set that the annual reminder for so-and-so's birthday, and you can say, oh, hey, happy birthday. And you can take a long time sending a really pretty text message with all of the emojis that you want to, or sending them an e-card or a physical card in the mail or whatever. And you can also too take the extra step of reminding yourself a week earlier to send so-and-so a birthday present, which is gonna be next week, which they live across the country or whatever. So there's all kinds of better habits that we can be implementing in our daily lives. And I don't want you to overwhelm yourself. So take this opportunity now while we have a couple of weeks before New Year's resolution starts, and start implementing, maybe making your coffee before bed so that it's ready in the morning, or setting the timer, or maybe spending a little bit of money on one of those, go on Amazon and get one of those automatic coffee makers where you can put the grounds into the top or whatever, and you put the water and you say, set the timer, brew coffee at 5:30 a.m. So you wake up to, now the whole house smells like coffee or whatever it is, or making your lunch the night before so you're not rushing out the door in the morning, whatever it is that you could do to take the stress out of your daily diet, because that is part of our winning formula, right? The less stress that we can have on a daily basis. Ask 100 people, 100 people would absolutely say, I would love to be less stressed on a daily basis. So get the practice in now, whether if that's sobriety, cutting back a little bit each day until you get to New Year's resolution, and then you'll be at 0 hopefully by the first of the year, whatever it is. Have those phone calls and those conversations with friends and family members and say, you know, hey, I'll be there, but I'm going to be drinking some non-alcoholic beers. Don't be weird. Don't put any pressure on me. I need your help and I need your support, right? So we need to have those conversations. We need to get the awkwardness out of the way. Say it right now. I'm going to get the awkwardness out of the way. I'm going to do what I need to do to set myself up for success so that I'm not overwhelmed with anxiety and that turns into failure. So if you enjoyed today's video, I would very much like for you to give this video a thumbs up if you don't mind. And also too, don't forget, if you want to catch up on some of our previous videos, like the one that I worked so hard on that came out 2 weeks ago about the alcohol myths, don't forget to click on the playlist at the end of this video, which is going to be in just a few seconds. And with that, I want to wish you good luck on your self-improvement journey, and I will see you in the next video.
If you want to see another one of our videos, click here.